Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Sai SATCHARITRA, an insight. Episode 235. My humble prostrations at the lotus feet of our Sadguru Sai. By the divine grace of Sai, an attempt has been made to translate the gist of the divine discourse of Sri Ramanathan brother telecasted in Sai TV. This is purely done to share the glory of Sai and his divine teachings with more insight to the aspirants. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnuhu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahmam, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Devotees, in the previous episode, we heeded that Shama's brother Babaji Rao's wife was having symptoms of plague. Such patients will have a high temperature and start to get lumps the size of an egg, and that condition is known as bubonic plague. Those days, people afflicted with bubonic plague were sure to die. Shama's sister-in-law had a high fever and developed such lumps in her lower abdomen. This situation scared Babaji Rao, and he was very worried about his wife's health. In Sri Sai SATCHARITRA, the severity of this situation is not explained in detail, as the illness was cured by the grace of Sri Sai Maharaj in a short span of time. But Babaji Rao's wife was in the deathbed. Babaji Rao came nervously to his brother Shama and conveyed the serious situation of his wife. Shama used to administer Ayurvedic medicines to the sick, so the latter thought that his brother would prescribe some medication for his wife. Babaji Rao and his wife were also devoted to Sri Sai Maharaj. In Kaparday's diary, there is a mention of Sri Sai inviting Babaji Rao and his wife to Dwarakamai to have meals. So Babaji also intended to approach Sri Sai Maharaj for aid. Shama conveyed the plight of his sister-in-law to Sri Sai Baba. The all-knowing God Sri Sai Maharaj was aware of it. By then it was already night. Shama, seeing the anxiety of his brother, asked Sri Sai Maharaj if he could go to Chahul Vihar to meet his sister-in-law. Sri Sai Baba said, "It is not necessary for you to go this late night. Send Udi with him. Let him mix it with water and give it to her to drink. Allah is our sole protector. So don't worry. Tomorrow morning you can go and return immediately." Sri Sai Maharaj stressed the words "return immediately," whereas Shama was worried for his brother and was concerned what would befall on his sister-in-law that night. Shama didn't send any medicine through his brother, as he was certain that Sri Sai Maharaj's blessings and the holy Udi are powerful enough to heal the sickness of his brother's wife. Shama advised his brother to go back home. The latter's mind was engulfed with fear and tension. So with a heavy heart, he went back home. Shama was also worried about the situation. Next morning, Shama woke up very early and got ready to go to Chahul Vihar. He came to Dwarakamai and Sri Sai Baba gave Udi with blessings and permitted him to go. While Shama was descending the steps of Dwarakamai, Sri Sai called out, "Shamya, go and return quickly. There will not be any need for you to stay there, so come immediately." Shama didn't get the gist of Sri Sai's assertion. There can be two perspectives to this statement. If the condition of the sister-in-law is out of control, then Shama being there will not make any difference. Or if she is feeling better, even then Shama's presence is not required at his brother's home. Hemat Panji says Shyama was making long and decisive steps to reach his brother's home at the earliest possible. He was very worried about his sister-in-law and was thoughtful as to how she would endure the trouble caused by the painful buboes and fatigue owing to high temperatures. Shyama was expecting her to be lying on the bed, grumbling in pain, and her brother on her side, unable to witness her plight. Shyama reached his brother's home. Lo! To his utter amazement, his sister-in-law was preparing tea in the kitchen. Shyama couldn't believe his own eyes. He immediately asked his brother how she recovered so soon. Babaji Rao said, "This is possible only because of the miraculous Udi. Upon reaching home the previous night, I immediately followed the instructions of Sri Sai Maharaj and gave water mixed with Udi to her. After drinking this holy water, in 5 minutes she began to sweat profusely and the temperature reduced. Miraculously, in no time, the buboes caused due to plague also disappeared from her body. She was tired and had a sound sleep. Thus, she recovered completely. This is possible only because of the healing power of the Udi. When she woke up, there were not even traces of the buboes in her body." Devotees, isn't this an incredible divine sport of Sri Sai Baba? Thus, Shyama's sister-in-law's life was saved by the holy ashes of Sri Sai Maharaj. Now, Shyama got the gist of Sri Sai Baba's words. Go and return immediately. After partaking the tea prepared by his sister-in-law as per the instructions of Sri Sai, he immediately returned to Shirdi. On the way back home, he thought it was Sri Sai Baba who kindles the problem and then resolves it. This is human nature. Whenever we encounter any problems, we would say, "Oh Baba, why are you giving us these challenges?" When the problems come to an end, we say, "Baba, why do you need to give us these troubles and then give us a solution to that?" So were Shyama's thoughts. With this notion, he went to Dwarakamayi and asked Sri Sai Baba, "Deva, what is this sport of yours? You are making us restless by creating a storm in our lives. Then, being in your seat, you are calming the same storm and bringing peace in our life." Devotees, please listen carefully to the brilliant response given by Sri Sai Maharaj. This is narrated by Hemat Panji in 4 OVs of this chapter that is filled with insight. Let's heed the assertions of Sri Sai Maharaj. Look, Shamya, these are the result of fate. I am not doing anything, nor make others do it. I am just a witness to the deeds that happen on account of fate. Yet I am held responsible for all that happens. The eternal Lord is the doer and the mover. He alone is the compassionate one. I am not the Lord nor the Supreme Spirit. I only remember the Lord and remind people of the existence of the Supreme Lord. I am just a poor servant of Allah. Devotees, what a great humility in the words of the divine incarnation, Sri Sai Maharaj. He addressed himself as only the servant of God and not as God. He was always modest in his words and actions. Sri Sai Baba also said, "The one who gives up all pride is ever grateful to him and places all his burden on him will achieve his objective." In this context, the term objective denotes the goal of life, that is liberation. Devotees, we worship Sri Sai Maharaj as the Supreme God. He possesses all the supernatural powers, whereas he never declared himself as God, instead feels elated to address always as the humble servant of God. These 4 OVs depict the Sharanagati philosophy of Sri Sai Maharaj. Following this, Hemat Panji has illustrated another Leela that highlights the greatness of Udi. This is about an Iranian or Persian known as Parsis. They must have been citizens of Iran settled in India. This Iranian had a little daughter who was getting seizures. Her condition was so severe that every 1 hour she would get fits. Because of this, the child couldn't even sleep in the night for 8 hours continuously, and the worried parents never had a peaceful sleep as well. Witnessing the discomfort and pain endured by the child was torture for the parents. Whenever she got convulsions, her body would arc like a bow and she fell at the very spot. She became unconscious and seemed as if she would die. No medication was effective. The family was living in Mumbai, and at this juncture they happened to meet a friend. He was a devotee of Sri Sai Baba, who spoke to them about the greatness of Udi and assured them that Sri Sai Maharaj's Udi would be the only remedy for this ailment. This Iranian gentleman had never come to Shirdi. He heard about Sri Sai Baba and the healing power of Udi from this Sai devotee. The gentleman thought of trying this too. The friend told him that at Ville Parle the most ardent devotee Sri Kaka Sahib Dikshit resides, and he frequently visits Shirdi to have the darshan of Sri Sai Maharaj. So he will be having the stock of Udi received from the holy hands of Sri Sai Baba. He is a good-natured person who would pray to Sri Sai Baba and give Udi to those who need it. So, get the Udi, mix it in water and give it to your daughter to drink. If you do this every day, having unswerving faith in Sri Sai Baba, then certainly your daughter will get relieved from her health issues. As advised by his friend, the gentleman went to Dikshit ji, collected some Udi and came home. This Udi was mixed in water and given to the child to drink. As she began to consume the teeth, the duration between the convulsions became longer. The interval became once in 2 hours, then extended to 3 hours. At one point of time, it happened once in 7 hours. The parents felt very happy to see the progress. They experienced the great powers of Udi. In fact, until then, they haven't had the darshan of Sri Sai. They continue to give the Udi Tirth to the child. As a result, the child's convulsions stopped completely and she was healed totally by the medicinal power of Udi. This is the testimony of the power of Udi, and this is possible only when used with utmost faith and devotion. The OVs 132 to 139 in this chapter speaks the greatness of Udi and its healing powers. The Sai devotee that happened to be the friend of this Iranian gentleman used a metaphor to narrate the greatness of Udi. It is inevitable for every Sai devotee to listen to that, and has been very beautifully stated by Hemat Panji in Sri Sai SATCHARITRA. He said, the Udi is like the Rama Banam, which never misses its target and returns only after hitting its goal perfectly. Similar is the miraculous healing energy of this Udi. Its powers cannot be matched or experienced with any other medication. Devotees, how wonderful this metaphor is. We have listened to the greatness of the Ramabanam by quoting evidence from Puranas. The Ramabanam, which once shot from the bow of Lord Rama, will not return without completing the task or hitting the target. Similar is the Udi of Sri Sai. When used with unswerving faith, is sure to heal the person. Hence, it is never an exaggeration to compare the healing powers of Sri Sai's Udi to Ramabanam. Following this, Hemat Panji has recorded another Leela that illustrates the greatness of Udi. This is related to a Harda gentleman. What was the divine sport of Sri Sai connected to this can be heeded in the coming episode. Bow to Sri Sai, peace be to all. Om Sai Ram.